Good morning, good morning, good morning to whoever's watching this. So the third episode of The Mandalorian 3, or Mando, according to Carl Withers. What can I say about episode 3? I want to say corny, but is corny a bad thing or a good thing? I'm not really sure at this point. It's a Disney show, so corny will be there, but should it be there as a Star Wars spinoff? I'm not sure. But anyway, let's talk about what happened in the summary of episode 3. So episode 3 starts off with him delivering package, which is the Baby Yoda, adorable Baby Yoda that everyone's gooing about on the internet. And Werner Herzog gives him payment for it in the way of these very precious rare metals. That looks like Damascus steel to me if you watch Forge and Fire. It looks exactly like Damascus steel. Anyway, so he takes this precious metal, which is also payment, to his at this point. Now mind you, I'm not really familiar with any of this Star Wars canonical stuff. Is that his priest or his preacher? The lady with the gold helmet. I'm not really sure. Comment below if you know what or who that is. He takes the armor to... Is it his priest? Now it's really bothering me. So he takes the money to the woman with the gold helmet, and there's this weird, awkward scene where they kind of chant some kind of brotherhood. Crap, I can't even remember what they were saying. It was that. See, that's the scene where I was like, okay, this is getting kind of corny. So after a quick battle with one of the alpha males of the crew, the priest, is which I'm just gonna call her, finally develops this, or at least forges the rest of his armor, which is all silver. And then, guys, when he put that armor on, the first thing I thought about was RoboCop. Like. RoboCop through and through. The second thing I thought of was Steel, that old Shaquille O'Neal movie from back in 1996, where he was supposed to be Superman, so he made himself this whole armor of steel. Anyway, that's the first thing I thought of. First thing I thought of. He goes back to Carl Withers, which is again his handler. He asks for a next job. He takes the job, gets in his jet, flies out, and feels guilty about his last job, which was kind of weird. I mean, even Carl Withers kind of brought that up, that, you know, you're a bounty hunter. Why are you feeling weird about this? Goes back, saves Baby Yoda, and in the process kills a lot of people. Which I guess that last 10 to 15 minutes of that episode was kind of worthy of watching it. Because he does shoot down a lot of, I guess, baddies. I don't know, they're all bad anyway. Who's he really killing? So that's the plot. Now, what stood out to me was, again, that whole concept of them having a church, or at least in the second episode, he made a pretty big emphasis that, you know, what did he say? I can't get rid of my gun because it's part of my religion. So I'm guessing they're trying to put more of an emphasis in that in this episode, and it just doesn't come across right. Like, it just, again, I'm gonna say this another time, it reads corny. I don't like it. And the plot. Well, I mean, what's really going to happen? Is he supposed to just fly around space with a Baby Yoda next to him? Where is he going to take that to? Like, there's no more Jedis, right? I don't know. I don't understand. I think this Mandalorian, or Mando, as Carl Withers call him, obviously is going to try to find some place to stash said Yoda. Where would he stash something like that? Like, who would take care of a 50-year-old infant? Can't be his church. They're all too violent. I don't know. I really don't know where this show's going. Actually, I'm almost kind of losing interest. Now, I'm not sure if that part of this review is going to go into the final cut. But yeah, it's just... I was hoping it would be more like Rogue One. You know, Rogue One was such a good movie, because it was a spin-off of all the other characters, the auxiliary characters that's in the main movies, and it made them more human, and you connected with that. You're not connecting with any of the characters in The Mandalorian. Maybe because he has a helmet on the entire time, that you're just not seeing a face to it. So all you're seeing, I mean, it almost feels like a robot. Even his voiceover sounds just so far away. Just nothing hits home as this thing is real. You know, Baby Yoda has great expressions, but obviously it's not real. There's just nothing to connect to character-wise, and I think that's where it's losing me. Graphically, it looks great. The CGI is fantastic. You know, Disney has the money for that. Acting-wise, it's good. I'll put it this way, you haven't really seen a lot of characters, so how bad can the acting really be? Everyone's mostly been in helmets or disguised as some kind of a CGI character. But it really just comes down to character attachment. Like, there's absolutely none. There's 3 episodes in, and I don't care about what happens to the Mandalorian or even Baby Yoda. Like, not at all. So, I did make a promise to myself, and I'm gonna watch all 8 episodes and make reviews about it. This one I know kind of seems glum, but there's nothing positive that I saw in that last episode. And I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me about that, but we'll see. Hopefully the next one gets better. So until next time, guys, see you in the flip.